Reggie, I wanted to do a roll call on some of the girls that Tupac was either confirmed or rumored to be with, and see if I could just get a quick note or memory about it, if you're cool with that.
Wow, Jerry, you got me about the gospel like a little girl, huh? All right, let's go.
Unfortunately, yes, people like to hear about this stuff. So, the first one we'll start with is Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige was someone that was around us often because of Misa, uh, Puffy's baby mother, but she was mainly a stylist that Suge started to mess around with, and they were real tight. And Pac started messing around with Mary uh, behind Casey's back, um, and so yeah, uh, Pac and Suge, I'm sorry, Pac and Mary J had a relationship. I told y'all once before a story where I personally went with him to pick up Mary at the Peninsula Hotel after Casey and Mary had got into a domestic issue at the hotel, and yeah, and so there was relationships there.
What
Shout out
about
to the queen.
Okay. What about Arnell Simpson?
Cornell Simpson, OJ's daughter. I've seen her around. Her and Park had a relationship during this time on Death Row. I don't know if the relationship started or happened before being on Death Row, but she was a hot commodity and everybody was feeling her after the OJ trial because she was sitting in there in court looking like a dime piece, and I'm sure once he saw her, he was like, I gotta have that. And he must have bumped into her somewhere, and he got it. So yeah.
Okay. What about Sally Richardson?
Sally Richardson. She's the one that came between Tupac and Snoop. Yeah, Sally and Pac had a relationship, and she was also messing with Snoop. Snoop talked about it in an interview when he said he took one of his women, and he was mad about that. But they were talking about Sally Richardson. She was a dime piece as well back in the day. Yeah.
Okay. What about Sarah Chapman?
Oh, Sarah Chapman. That's Puffy. Eventually, a woman. I seen something on Facebook recently or Instagram where he was bragging on how good she's looked. There's a picture of Pac and Sarah in Hawaii where they took together. Suge and his female friend went to Hawaii, and Pac and Sarah went. And they went out there on their own. No security or nothing. And when they kicked it at the Four Seasons Hotel in Hawaii together, just the four of them. Yeah.
Okay. What about Faith?
Faith Evans. We done heard all the stories about him and Faith and the alleged rumors and all that, but I saw them together. Like I said, I saw them in a little room, and you can tell they were had other than a friendship or a business relationship working out, and yeah, so I can confirm that those rumors and accusations is factual. But yeah.
Okay. What about Whitney Houston?
Whitney Houston. Only thing I heard is what we all heard. Bobby Brown accusing that relationship of happening. I know nothing of it, never heard it prior to Bobby Brown speaking on it. And so that would have to be under a rumor. But why would Bobby Brown say it if it wasn't true? And so I believe it to be true.
Okay. What about Janet Jackson?
Janet Jackson. All I know can speak on it is that Pac was upset that he felt that him and Janet had a bond. Some of y'all say they were married. He was married to the backup dancer. I forget the guy's name. When he was filming the Poetic Justice movie, I think it wasn't Renee. It was another guy, but y'all said he was married. The way the conversation went with Pop, I don't think she was married, but that's easy to Google to find out. But all I know is Pop felt that Janet changed her number the day after the shooting of Poetic Justice. I don't even guess they must have even saw each other at the rap party or whatever. Or you know how you have a what they call that when you premiere the movie premiere,
right?
Or the movie release party. Because the way he always made it seem like once the movie was over, he didn't hear from her, or the taping was over, he didn't hear or speak to Janet anymore after that. So one of them didn't show up to the premiere or the rap party.
Okay. What about Madonna?
Madonna was a friend of Pac's. I don't know when their relationship started. I know they went to some events together and all of that pre-Death Row. Madonna, some of us give a bad rap to. And, you know, I always said she didn't come up with the money, the $1.5 million, and she was the only one that came up with the $1.5 million. But some people have told me, Reggie, you know, it wasn't so much the fact that coming up with the money wasn't the major thing. The key element that most people didn't have was David Kenner. People had the $1.5 million to come up with. But people didn't have David Kenner, the person to make it happen. Or make that, you know, appeal bond to be possible was to happen. And so, other than that, yeah, that's all I know about Madonna from what we see and know out there that's been talked about with Madonna. But he seemed to always have a love and respect for Madonna. Yeah.
Okay. What about Jada Pinkett?
Jada Pinkett, well, you know, Jada and Pac, we all know of and believe to have that friendly type of brotherly, sisterly type of relationship. I don't believe that. I don't buy that. I believe they had a relationship, especially knowing how Jada says she is currently, you know, about sex, and how knowing Pac was about sex. I don't believe it. Don't buy it. I do know of a situation where Be Legit and his manager, Chaz Hayes, up in the Bay, up in Oakland, told us when they was recording the song that they did, that Jada was sitting over there in a corner, and they were rushing out of that session because they were going on a trip, and she paid for the studio session at the time, or gave some money to them for whatever the reason. I don't know why they would be paying for the studio session unless it was going on Pac's album. But she was there doing the recording, and they were rushing to go to the airport because they were on their way to Hawaii together, just the two of them. So yeah.
Okay. What about Desiree Smith?
Desiree, I mean, I only know what we heard. She's doing a great job and telling some great stories over there on Art the Dialogue channel. You know, she picked up a little weight, but I can tell she was a dime piece so fine back then. I like her bluntness and how she just come off and put it out there. Hey, I was a side chick. I was nothing more than the piece. Love that about her. You gotta respect that about her. So Desiree comes off as a, straight up chick, you know, speaks the truth. I believe everything that she's pretty much saying over there that's not opinionated, that she's speaking on to be factual. You know, we all have opinions and say stuff that be our opinions, So you take that, however you want. But the stories and the events, she come out very genuine. I think that interview was going well over there. Just concluded, but did a great job. And type of chick that you would want to have in your corner, or to have on your team or on your side. And so that's what I get about Desiree.
Okay. What about Keisha Morris?
Keisha knew her role, I guess. I don't know what happened or why her and Pac decided to split up. I hear she's an attorney now in New York, so she's doing very successful for herself. But Keisha loved Pac. She reached out and made things happen for Pac during one of the hardest times of his life, and that's being in prison or suffering from, a death of a sibling or a family, a mother or a parent. Other than those things, I think being in prison is one of the worst, especially falsely accused, some of the worst time of your life. And she was there for him, and as Desiree appeared and said she was. But yeah, Keisha appeared to be 100. I just hate that they all are, that she know what happened, or like to know what happened to why they broke up so quick. Because I know she only came in town or came to, actually it was 95, November 95, Thanksgiving, that she went and met with Pac. So that's the only time that I remember ever hearing her being around Pac since he got out of prison. So what happened after that, I don't know.
Okay. What about Jasmine Guy?
Jasmine Guy. Don't know, never seen him around. Danny Boy said he saw her around with Suge. Other people said that they saw or know about the Jasmine Guy relationship, but I can't speak on that. Other than I heard the same things that you guys heard about Jasmine and the girl from Fresh Prince. I never could think of her name, but those two, I can only tell what you all have heard. Parson, I never can think of her name. Hillary, I just know her as Hillary. Love that girl, but yeah, those two I can't speak on.
Okay. What about Ariana Jackson?
Ariana Jackson. How you gonna ask about that bitch with all these wonderful ladies, and then you gonna bring up the bitch that's really okay? Ariana Jackson. Well, this is a chick that gave the man a blowjob on the dance floor, and then want to accuse him of sexual assault later. Yeah, because I didn't kiss you, I didn't give you a big enough hug at the end of our date. Just wrong.
Okay. Last one, Cadada Jones.
Cadada. Pac apparently loved Cadada. Was ready to settle down, ready to help her groom his fashion and his image. It's hard to speak bad about Cadada, giving to the things that, and the way he had her around towards the end of his life. Apparently he loved Cadada. I hate that Cadada, cover up the tattoo, that was claiming to be pregnant at the hospital, when we all know when they would have kids, and claiming that she was, I guess, married. But other than that, dancing with and being a groupie, and as Gene Deal say, trying to hang out with Puffy and all of them after hearing all the accusations and knowing how he felt about Puffy and them, and hanging out with Puffy and them 6 months later, and then the incident that Gene speaks on, where she was going to drink, Puffy was going to have her drink his urine. Other than no incidents, appeared that he loved her though.